Hey, Julia, can we talk?
What's up, mother-in-law?
Well, it's not easy for me to say this, but I'm not exactly living a lavish life myself.
Okay.
So I can't financially help you out anymore.
Wait, help out?
You're aware I'm living on a fixed income, right? I can't continue to assist you.
Hold on, mother-in-law. What are you talking about?
Huh?
My name is Julia, a 27-year-old working woman. I met my husband Kevin through a mutual friend and we got married after a year and a half of dating. Kevin can get a bit carried away sometimes, but he's a fun-loving and kind person. The reason I wanted to marry him was that he values family very much.
I want to take care of my mom, you know. She's getting on in years and I want to repay her for everything.
Before we got married, Kevin often talked like this, making me see him as a wonderful, family-oriented person. When we got engaged, we visited Kevin's family home, and mother-in-law welcomed me warmly. I felt relieved seeing that she was exactly as Kevin had described.
I am so thrilled you're becoming Kevin's wife, Julia. He's lucky to have such a wonderful woman.
Mother-in-law has always been kind to me, even after we got married.
If you're busy with work and can't manage the household, feel free to ask for help.
Thank you, mother-in-law. In-laws are a common issue for many, but between us, there's no tension or harassment. In fact, we have a very good relationship, like a real mother and daughter. However, after some time being married, something began to bother me. Not about mother-in-law, but about Kevin.
Man, I am beat. Let's go over to Mom's place today and get some dinner, huh?
What are you talking about? Today is Kevin's day to cook dinner, right? In our house, both of us working, we take turns cooking dinner. On Kevin's cooking day, this is what he said as soon as he got home.
So I said I'm tired from work, right? Let's just eat at my mom's place.
Now? Isn't it a bit last minute? Won't it be a hassle?
It's fine. Mom would love having us there. It makes things more lively.
Kevin's mom, or mother-in-law as we call her, lives alone in a big house since my father-in-law passed away before we got married. Sure, having meals alone in that big house must feel a bit lonely. But isn't it pretty rude to just show up and expect to be fed? While it's one thing for Kevin to drop by whenever he wants, I feel uncomfortable imposing. Besides, even mother-in-law might find it inconvenient if we just show up for dinner. Is Kevin under the impression that meals at home work like a diner? Hey, let's call ahead just to be sure.
Why? I don't need to call my own house.
Kevin, it may be your home, but I still feel like we should be polite. We're adults after all. Even with family, there's a way to do things. Since I insisted, Kevin reluctantly called his home.
She said it's fine.
Really? She didn't say we're imposing?
No, she didn't. Mom said, come on over. You worry too much, Julia.
Kevin said this with such confidence that I decided to just go along with it for today. At the house, mother-in-law welcomed us with her usual warm smile.
Welcome. Dinner's ready. Let's eat.
Mother-in-law, isn't this a lot of food? Must have been hard to prepare all this.
I got so happy to hear you're joining us for dinner. I might have overdone it.
I'm sorry for dropping in unannounced, but this looks delicious. Let's eat.
There's plenty, so make sure you eat a lot. See? Told you it would be fine. Mom's cooking is the best, right? Dig in, Julia.
Saying this, Kevin casually opened a beer from the fridge. That's rich coming from you, I thought as I enjoyed mother-in-law's cooking.
So, does it suit your taste?
Mother-in-law, everything is delicious. I'd love to make this at home. Would you teach me?
Oh, how wonderful to hear. Let's cook together next time.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. In reality, mother-in-law's cooking was absolutely delicious and full of homey warmth. Thanks to her generous hospitality, our spontaneous dinner turned out to be quite enjoyable. A few days after our last visit, my husband suggested eating at his mom's place again. We just went the other day. We shouldn't impose so often.
It's fine. I called ahead this time.
You did?
Yeah, I told her we'd be coming over today.
What? Today's your turn to make dinner, isn't it? Are you planning to skip your duty?
No, I'm not slacking off. If we go to my mom's, there'll be food ready. That counts, right?
You're just pawning off the work on her. That's not fair to her. I was unsettled by my husband's selfish reasoning. But since my mother-in-law had already prepared a meal, we couldn't let it go to waste. Feeling guilty, I went with him to visit his family home. Sorry for dropping by so frequently, Mom.
Don't worry, I'm happy to help out when you're in a pinch.
The thing is, we weren't really in a pinch. If anyone was, it was my husband. He probably found cooking a hassle and relied on his mom to bail him out. I couldn't say anything, feeling guilty towards my mother-in-law. After that, my husband got used to dodging his cooking duties. Most of the nights he was supposed to cook, we ended up at his mom's. She always welcomed us with delicious food. By the third visit, I felt we needed to make a change. It's great that we go to your mom's, but it's not fair to keep letting her treat us. We should at least say thank you properly.
How?
Let's at least cover the cost of ingredients.
She enjoys doing it. Why would she need money?
Still, it adds up. It's the least we can do.
We're eating less at home, so why not give her something?
She might not accept it from me. Could you hand it to her? I thought my mother-in-law might refuse to accept money for groceries from me. However, I believed that she would accept it from her son, so I decided to ask my husband instead.
Thanks for considering, Mom. I'll make sure to give it to her.
By contributing towards the ingredients, I felt relieved that we were at least easing some of mother-in-law's burden. Continuing from the previous scenario, the husband nonchalantly insisted that they eat meals at his parents' house on his assigned days. For about half a year, we had meals at my husband's family home around 3 times a week. Since we were giving them money, I thought maybe I was taking advantage of my mother-in-law. Then, one day, I was hit with an unexpected truth.
Ah, another delicious meal.
My husband was lying down and watching TV after having dinner at his parents' house. My mother-in-law and I were cleaning up after the meal. Usually we'd chat cheerfully as we tidied up, but today, mother-in-law looked serious. Wondering what was wrong, she started to talk.
Julia, can I talk to you?
What is it, mother-in-law?
I hate to bring this up, but I'm not living a lavish life either.
Okay.
So I can't continue to support you guys.
Support? What are you talking about?
You know, we're living on a pension, right? We can't afford to help you anymore.
Wait a minute, mother-in-law. What are you talking about?
Huh? You come over for meals and we're giving you money because you said times are tough, right? We don't have much from our pension. It's a struggle.
I didn't know anything about that.
What?
We've been giving you money too, for the meals. We thought it would at least cover the groceries, and we gave the money to Kevin.
Groceries? I never received anything from Kevin.
What?
As we continued to talk, it became clear that there was a major misunderstanding. I realized it must be the doing of one person. Angrily, I confronted my husband, who was carelessly lounging in the living room.
Kevin, what's the meaning of this?
Huh? What's up?
I grabbed the collar of my slightly intoxicated, grinning husband. What's going on? Answer me!
What? Why are you yelling? What's the problem?
That's what I'm asking you. What's this support mother-in-law's talking about?
Huh? What do you mean?
And where's the money we gave you for meals? Mother-in-law says she knows nothing about it.
Well, you see...
Suspicious. Very suspicious. Unable to explain where the money had gone, my husband started to stammer, his eyes darting around. My husband, whose collar I had just grabbed and shaken, resettled himself with a pale face. So, what's going on?
What are you talking about?
Really? You're still playing dumb?
Even my usually gentle mom was infuriated by Kevin's vague demeanor. You came to us saying you're in trouble. We fed you and even gave you money. Mom, please, let's keep calm.
It's Kevin making me angry, isn't it?
We were enjoying Mom's delicious cooking, and the mood was great. Let's just drop it.
Where did the money go? Answer me!
Well, that's a bit complicated.
My husband mumbled and fell silent. So you really won't tell me where the money went? Fine, wait here. I told my husband that and stepped away for a while. Then I called brother-in-law and told him the situation. Brother-in-law, 7 years my senior, had been supporting my husband's family financially for a long time, filling in for our frequently hospitalized father-in-law. Kevin had even had some of his college tuition covered by brother-in-law's earnings, so he couldn't talk back to him. Brother-in-law cared deeply for his much younger brother Kevin, and me as family. I've called brother-in-law. He's on his way.
What? Why did you call him?
Why? Because you won't give me a straight answer, Kevin. What's so bad about him coming?
No, well,
Knowing I had called brother-in-law, my husband seemed quite unsettled. Soon after brother-in-law, who lives nearby, arrived.
Kevin, what did you do with the money from Julia and Mom? Speak up! Oh, well, I didn't use it for anything major. What was it again? I see.
Brother-in-law, sensing that getting a straight answer from Kevin was going nowhere, said,
Julia, this might take a while. I'll get to the bottom of this. You should head home for now. Julia, I'll go home with you. Nope, you're staying right here. Don't you think you'll get any sleep tonight? You're off work tomorrow anyway. Let's have a long talk.
Thank you, brother-in-law. I appreciate it.
Julia, help me!
Ignoring my husband's soft plea, I went back home. Though I returned to my own house, I was so worried that I could hardly sleep that night. So, the family was summoned again to my husband's parents' home the next afternoon. Hello, I apologize for the inconvenience last night.
No worries. Sorry for calling you back here again. As my heart pounded, I entered the room to find that even my brother-in-law's wife was present. Why would the whole family gather like this? What on earth did Kevin do? As soon as I took my seat, my mother-in-law and brother-in-law began to apologize profusely.
Julia, I am so sorry. My brother did something terrible.
What's going on? Even you, mother-in-law? Kevin, what happened?
Kevin, tell Julia the truth right now.
My husband was sitting formally, looking even paler than yesterday. Head bowed, he began to speak in an almost inaudible voice.
Well, I messed up.
What did you do?
I've been unfaithful.
What? Cheating? You mean like having an affair?
Yes.
Since when?
About 6 months ago.
And what did you do with our money? Don't stay silent. Where did the money go?
I used it for dates with other women.
Hold on. That's a lot of money. How many fancy restaurants did you guys go to?
I also bought her designer bags.
What? You always dismissed my desires for one as trivial, and you bought her a bag? Turns out, my husband had been having an affair for the past 6 months and had used up the money given to him by both mother-in-law and me.
I'm really sorry. I'll break it off and never cheat again.
Hold on. You don't have to break up on my account.
What?
I am divorcing Kevin. How can I go on with someone who can't handle money or fidelity?
You can't be serious. It was just a lapse in judgment.
Sorry, but that excuse doesn't fly. Before I could say another word, mother-in-law and brother-in-law laid into him.
Enough is enough. Stop being so selfish. Do you realize you were cheating using money that your mother and Julia scrimped and saved? What do you mean, a lapse?
Giving designer bags to your affair partner? You should have been doing that for Julia, who's always working hard. You're the worst. If Julia wants to break up, you don't really have the right to refuse, do you?
That's right. Make sure to pay back the money you both spent and also provide the deposit required for the divorce court. What? If we divorce, Julia will no longer be family. Are you all okay with that?
If the choice is being manipulated by Kevin forever, isn't it easier just to split? At this point, my sister-in-law, who had been silent, finally spoke up, and it seemed my husband had given up. Then, my sister-in-law took out the divorce papers she had prepared just in case. Filling out the divorce papers while being watched by my husband's family felt awkward, but I signed them right away. My husband hesitated, but under a stern look from his brother, he reluctantly signed as well. And just like that, our divorce was finalized. Through a lawyer my brother-in-law introduced me to, I requested the divorce court deposit from my ex-husband and his affair partner. I also decided to reclaim all the money that was supposed to be for my mother-in-law. Shockingly, it turned out that my ex-husband's affair partner was actually engaged. When her partner found out about the affair, the engagement was called off. Everything they had prepared for their marriage became a waste, and now both my ex-husband and his affair partner are being sued for damages by the ex-fiancé. My ex-husband, who is now burdened with a significant amount of debt for the divorce court deposit, was forcibly sent back to his parents' home. His salary is being managed by my responsible sister-in-law to ensure the repayment of the divorce court deposit. Currently, he only gets a paltry $10 for lunch and shuttles between his home and workplace. He seems to be grumbling about his miserable life, but he brought this upon himself. Having an affair with someone else's money is despicable. There's no other way to put it. He spent all that money on his affair partners, but it wasn't his money to begin with. So complaining about it is pointless. As for me, I've moved to a new apartment and am enjoying a stress-free life. I always loved my ex-husband's family, so we're still on good terms. I secretly go out to eat with my former mother-in-law and brother-in-law and his wife, maintaining our relationship. I guess I should be thankful for the wonderful connections I've made, leaving the disappointing ex-husband aside.